Okay, it's time to start building. Let's make sure we're nice and centered there. All right. So, where did we leave off last time? That's right. We were starting to build an actual commercial, and we ended with a website. So, let's go ahead and take a look at that website. All right. This is the platform that we're going to be using for generating videos this episode or this live stream. Go ahead and pull that up here. Perfect. And then let's go to the actual website, see where we're at. All right, pretty proud of what it looks like. We have this, and we have the different tiles of the different characters that you'd be chatting with, and then you're able to type in your name and join the wait list. So notify me when History Pen Pals launches and send me news. All right. I'm going to hop in a conversation with chat, right? We're in the repository for this. Okay, we generated those photos. Okay. All right. We want to go ahead and say, right now this is called History Pen Pals, and we would like to have a better name for it. Give me a few different options that are topical, like based on what the actual product is, but also just some creative new words or takes on other things. You know, like the company Bloatato. Don't use potato or bloat, but that idea where just a new word is made up, but still kind of about the product. So go ahead and give me some options. We'll use these to think about what sort of domains we have available. Then over here, what I've started doing is working on, let's see, we do want to look at these other websites. How do they look? The Folio website. That does look pretty good. That's a good looking website. But let's see what else. They talked a lot about letterjoy.co. History's best letters delivered to your door. Over 2 million letters mailed. That's pretty cool. This is a good website. This is a really good website. Let's see. These letters are fascinating because each one takes me back to my high school history class and my college courses during my apprenticeship. They remind me of the curiosity and excitement I felt when I first learning about these events. That's good. This is a good website. Oh, I like that they have images of their physical letters. That's cool. Okay. All right. Very cool. They have ciphers that you can add. Okay, so things that you get to decipher. That's pretty cool. All right. They have gifts. They have bundles. They have them based on different topics. 2-month starter bundle. Okay, 6-month personalized bundle. Perfect. Okay, this is really informative, and they do have a pretty cool website. We're gonna see if we can top it and make it more personalized. Theirs is all just history letters from actual history that they have written out that you get to read about, which I do like. It's cool. We're starting with a different approach where we're taking fictional characters based on historical time. So theirs is Letterjoy. Let's see if Letterjoy is a pretty good name. Quillery, which is a quill and a delivery. Postola, Leteria, Inkwicker, Scrively. I mean, that one's kind of fun. Parchlow, Penpath. Okay. Quilkin, Foldery, Postoy, Posture, Posture. Okay. Now let's see. Let's go. The 1776 postmark 1776. Letters from then. Letters from then is good. The sealed letter is interesting. Letters from friends from then, pals from then, founder's mail, direct but narrows you. Okay, Inkwell and Co. Let's see. I really like Letters from Then. I like The Sealed Letter. The Mail Rune of History is long. Pen pal doesn't sound very good. Is there another expression for the word pen pal? All right. Let's see. So we're trying to come up with a story basically to tell in the first, I don't know, like 30 seconds. We're making a post that's going to be completely AI generated, maybe with a little bit of me talking. I guess we're going to come up with 2 videos. Think more from just a traditional story writing perspective. What journey might a kid go on who's addicted to a screen to be freed from that and excited about history that could be told in 30 seconds? Start from scratch. Give me 3 different options. All right. So the context is pretty bogged down with a bunch of other stuff that I've already said, but I'm trying to avoid the hard actual story writing. But it may be the case that I need to define like the actual story writing, I don't know, approach of this product, because right now we're just using AI to do it, and AI doesn't have taste and it's not that creative. And so if I have clear instructions for it to follow, it's going to be so much better. I'm not very good at story writing, at least not as quickly as they are, as AI is. So we're going to keep practicing, and we're going to iterate a few times to see if it can be good enough for the first pass. Because now that we have a landing page where people can actually sign up, we need to start pushing people there. And today is all about creating content about pushing people there. And then I think we'll probably do that some more this week. But then we're going to start really defining the brand identity. Because once we have something to push people to, and this brand identity is a lot of the heavy lifting, right? I need to develop the passion for the product, something that people can look at and say, yes, I that solves my problem with my kids, and it gets me excited about history. Um, so I still need to define that, and a lot of that is human work, a lot of thinking. Obviously, you can use AI to do the market research to find out what people are talking about, but at the end of the day, I need to have creative ideas and develop, the mission of the company. So we're going to keep doing that this week, and then we're going to dive, right into how much can we automate these processes to start getting the word out there. And then once we have enough people signed up to be notified, or maybe we should change the landing page to say, um, if you prepay your first month, you'll get 15%. If it doesn't launch, then you'll be refunded. Yeah, I like that a lot. So as soon as we have enough money from pre-orders, pre-order your first month, then once we have enough to buy the equipment, then we'll go ahead and launch. So that's the name of the game. Then we'll start building the product later. Okay, let's see. We have Pat Agent, we have AI history. Okay. Let's read some of these. So they're still looking at like short form social media. Let's see. Boy slumped against his bed. I want you to tell a story, not give the beats for a short form video. Once we have a good story, then we can create the beats for a short form video. But let's look at these anyway. All right, mom in doorway, watching her son on the tablet. She's tired. The look on her face says she's tired. She's tried everything. She does something small. slides a card across a kitchen counter, picks up the phone, signs a paper. The act of subscribing, but visualized as a quiet decision, not a transaction. Days pass. A letter arrives at the mailbox, addressed to him. Mom places it next to the tablet without a word. He notices it. He picks it up. He opens it. He reads. He looks up. And for the first time in a long time, he asks her a question. They're sitting at the kitchen table, reading together. The tablet is somewhere off screen, forgotten. Now, again, I still need to dive into the real brand identity here. Because it's missing the mark, you know? It doesn't have taste. You don't know what's missing, but something's missing. Let's see. Make sure this is turned down so that there we go. Yeah, we'll just have this really close. Okay. All right, I think it's turned down low enough that you guys can't hear my family. All right. She stood in the doorway watching him. The tablet's blue light was the only color in the room. He didn't move in 40 he hadn't moved in 40 minutes. Not for his sister, not for the dog. I mean, is this suggesting that something in the mail coming is more interesting than your family? It's more novel, I guess. So maybe. I don't want to worry about choosing a really good. Let's see. Yeah, let's just try this. So I'm not experienced in video generation. Um, please turn this into prompts for all of the different scenes. Let's see, because we have cut. Actually, I like this one. Let's see how it goes. I want to start by generating images, and then we will animate those. I am going to generate images of the characters to use as references, so don't worry about that. The characters in this are just a mom and a son, correct? Okay. Now let's go back to Kriya. And then we're going to pull the image from yesterday. And we're going to say... Again, I like the ChatGPT images. So we're going to do... We're going to use... Well, actually, I don't want multiple models. I just want ChatGPT. And we're going to upload from the image we just created. Please create an image of this boy's mom. All right, let's see what it comes up with. I think we're going to use Kia AI. Key AI. All right, we're going to do 4K. Now, we want to do 720 without audio. So this is expensive. And, actually, I think we want to use the audio with audio. Okay, this is just a image of what we get here. Let me turn on the desktop audio and turn off my audio.
These trees will turn yellow in the month.
But they'll be green again next summer.
Are you always this optimistic?
Only about summers with you.
So as we can see, it's pretty solid. Now, it's only as good as the story that you actually have written here. So that's what we're going to try to do. This one is 10 seconds. Holy smokes, it can go up to 15 seconds. That's pretty cool. Let's see how much it... We'll go back to the pricing. It charges a penny. Okay, so let's see how much it costs. But it costs a penny per 1 second. Or sorry, a dime per 1 cent. Sorry, a dime per second. Excuse me. All right, let's see how the images of the boy's mom. Okay. I mean, I like that picture of the mom. I feel like we're establishing a fun art style here. We're building up a collection of what our website could be about. That one's just a solid photo, and so is that. And so we'll come in here. Oh, they're both so cute. She's so cute. And so is this boy. Okay, let's download. I feel like they're the same person, so that's good. Like, they look like the same person, so that's really good. Okay. So, now we are going to come into... That is a nice review to have. Okay. We want to generate all of the images of these people. So we're going to first go to... So we can go to Nana Banana, but I think... right, we might like... let's see, we might want ChatGPT 2. Because that's... Let's see. Yeah, ChatGPT image to image, text to image. So we have image to image. Yeah, we want to do image to image, and we'll just do 1K for now. Okay. So, I don't think I've added any money to this, but let's just go ahead and give it a shot. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull those prompts. No, I mean prompts for like the storyboard. So, like I want however many scenes there's going to be, I want basically a starting frame for each of these. And that's what I want the images to be. That's what I want the prompts to be. And remember, with this type of image generation, I want to say that less is more. Okay? Okay. What's really cool about Midjourney, that's one that I've used in the past, is that you can use style references and not just character references. Here, I think we're going to have to rely on just a single image for both of them. So we're going to do storyboard, and I'm going to say, let's go ahead and grab the API. So that's what we want to pull here. Okay, create task, image. And we are going to use Python. And perfect. We'll go ahead and grab an API key. But I do want to see how this one works first. Okay. And we'll remove all. We'll add an image reference. We'll add the little boy. Okay, we'll run. This will cost 6 credits. And what's cool is there's a chance that we can just be story writers and the AI can create and edit these. Or AI can be the story. Like once we have ones that hit, we can just create a bunch of small stories. But there's a chance that some like user generated content is gonna sell this a lot better. So I think it'll be videos of me recording, hey, like check this out. I built this thing. I homeschool my kids, and this is what we built, and I think it's awesome. Okay, I like that. Sure, I don't see why that doesn't work. And that used very few tokens. So I actually want to call that, yeah, 9:16. Okay, we can set the aspect ratio. Let's just run it again. Let's see how it goes. But the character consistency seemed really good there. I'm working on it. I'll get back to you later today, man. Okay. So what's cool is we can say we want 1K resolution. We'll go to the API and we can just say the prompt, the input URLs. So we made it to upload some photos to the internet, but we're in good shape. So I'm going to come back to this and say, I'd like to set up an API endpoint in this repository so that I can generate all 6 scenes simultaneously using Key AI. Here is a default reference from the model that I want to use, and I'd like to be able to add other models. A mother's hand sliding the package across the phone. So maybe we could use this image and the last image together. All right, so we'll say this right here. And I'll need to add credits. Let's go to billing. $50 for 10,000 credits. Yeah, I do like the pay for usage. Okay. Rate limit. Each account is limited to 20 new generation requests per 10 seconds. I don't think that'll be a problem for us. And yeah, let's go ahead and start with $50. This means we can actually cancel our Korea. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I don't know. I just love these, but I know that we can create them. Actually, I'm going to hold on to the membership of Korea right now because of how easy it is to generate these new images. But we'll go ahead and set this up. I'll pull that off screen. All right, so we bought our credits. Now we are going to create an API key. Perfect. We already have one. But I am going to create this one, and it's going to be called history letters. So we can keep solid track of usage. Oh, crap. I just showed that to you. Let's press cancel. And let's press delete. All right. We'll create a new one off screen. Go ahead and create that. I'll copy it so that you can't see it. All right, now we're ready to pop it in. Okay, so once this is built, and it's building in our Claude code right now. Okay, so the status endpoint, the task ID. Okay, so okay. Please create a skill to generate images using the key API. And then I will go ahead, add a small CLI script. But yeah, put it all in the skill. Then I will go ahead and add my API key to the .env. Perfect. So we're just setting up so that we can programmatically build this stuff. So we're going to be able to take all 6 images and then use the references from the other ones. So here we're gonna be in here, and let's come back to this. It's taking a super long time. Pull up my notepad so that I can paste that API key. Okay. It's struggling. All right, let's try that again. We'll come in here. We'll use this prompt from before. And we are going to reference 2 things. We're going to reference the photo of him on the couch, and then we're going to reference her. And we're going to do a 2x3. Well, actually, a 9x16. All right, perfect. We're going to run this thing. And we paid $50 for 10,000 credits. The fact that this is using 6 is pretty mild. To be fair, the last one didn't really work. And what's interesting here is we are going to want to use basically the first image as a reference for the package and for the little boy. And we don't expect this to be good. We are trying to make well, we don't expect it to be great. We expect it to be good enough to not be repulsive. And we hope to keep getting better and better over the next couple of months to where people are intrigued to click on it. But this is a learning process. Building a company, you have no idea what you're doing in so many ways. I know how to build AI automations, but I do not know how to do great visual storytelling. I'm not the director. Okay. That's not bad. So, like, we can make a 2-second clip taking this to this. Yeah, and we could say, hey, let's see. Remove the package from the table. Change absolutely nothing else. And so we can run this. And again, this is so manual, but we'll get there. All right, let's take a look at the next scene. And let's see how our API is doing. Okay, it's building that skill, image generation skills, the scripts. Perfect. All right, and let's keep working on this name. Companion from them, that seems a little bit weird. Confidant from then, letter friend, faithful respondent, epistolary, epistolary friend. That sounds weird. 2 SAT word for a kid, maybe. Companion, friend across time. A friend who was there. A friend who was there sounds cool. Again, we should probably define, like, do we want it to be a friend or do we want it to be a structured story that you give feedback on? And these stories are based on. So I guess we want a name that works regardless of which one we choose. So let's see what letters from then even looks like. I'm not sure. Perfect. We got the image without the package. Okay, I like that. And then let's see. Let's see if this has worked. We'll come down to here. This is a really long chat. I need to clear it, but there's a lot of things that we've talked about here that I want put into it. Please generate images for each of these scenes so that we can patch them like one after another. Please think carefully about the cohesiveness of them. So in the first one, if there's already a package on the table, how is a mom going to be in the next scene having slid a package? So like the very first scene probably just shouldn't have a package on it. And then the next scene should be, okay, the same little boy and the mom have like the package has been slid to him. Slid to hurt him? That seems silly. Okay. Here are the references for the mom and the son. We'll go to downloads. We'll pull those. And yeah, we're going to use these. These two. Actually, we want to pull paths. No, I want the file paths. So when you're using AI, it's best to just give it the file paths. because copying and pasting them into the chat doesn't always work well, but let's go ahead and just add them right here, copy here. Okay, we'll copy the relative path. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we just don't want this to upset people, and I feel like I have a pretty low bar for being upset by AI slop. So if it's not good enough for me, we're not going to post it. But the first few iterations of anything aren't usually good enough for the public, so we'll see how it goes. I do like where we're getting here. Okay. And then we're going to use cling. And I think sometimes we're going to want a start frame and an end frame where we're using scenes from them, but sometimes we just want one. So this is going to cost 200 credits. Let's just see what it looks like. So now we don't have an end frame. This is going to take a lot longer to generate. But let's think about the math here. Okay, so we have 10,000 credits, and that's $50. So that's, you know, 1/1,000ths of a dollar to, so half a penny for a single credit. So then we'll multiply that by 3. Oh, sorry, 200. All right, so this specific one, did it say it was going to be a 2-credit run? We'll see at the end. Okay. So this is no audio. Oh, wait, no, this is standard. Yeah, 720. Does this one? Yep, this one has sound, and this is not multi-shot. So hopefully this only costs $1. But if we can pump out a video for $5 between 5 different iterations, $5 for a short form piece of content is sensational. That is so cheap. Assuming that it actually gains attention. It's probably more attention than my videos get. So we can come right here. Right, we have some shorts that are getting, you know, 100, anywhere between 45 and like 1100. Okay, that's a big range. But I don't have any followers. We're just starting this journey. Yeah, we'll save to 1Password. Okay. Key AI. We'll go to the API usage. We've spent $1.12 already. Okay, yeah. So here was $1. And then we spent 12 cents with GPT-2. And that is before we sent this API call. So I also want to make sure that, let's see, continuity fixed. Okay, I actually need to add the API key. I'm going to pull that off screen. Yeah, drop both PNGs in a GitHub repo. That's fine. And then, yeah, I already added the env file. Also, there are going to be times when, yeah, that works. I was going to say there's going to be times when the past image is going to be referenced for the next one, but I'm okay with it not being for now. Then yeah, I added the .env. Okay, so we need to think of better names here. Give me a bunch more options. For example, there's a company out there called Letterjoy, and that's a really great name. Letterjoy is descriptive and doesn't tie anyone in a box. And we need enough options so that when we actually go to buy a domain, it's not blocked. It's not already purchased, so it needs to be a little bit unique. Oh, it's just going to be very literal. Letterbound. Well, I want you to go off of what I already have. So maybe history should be in the name. Like we were talking about our thesis, history can be in the name. Letterly is cool. I don't think let's go to godaddy.com. That's where my domains are. Okay. History letters. Yeah, it's definitely going to be taken. Let's see. Domain taken, available on X. We can hire a broker. Let's see. History-letters.com. I've done this before. Let's see if we can go with happy letters. Happy letters is taken. Very good. The happy letters. The history letters is taken. All right, let's pull up and see what our agent is saying. And I'll go ahead and just shut this down so that we only have one window to pull up. Post joy, history post. Let's see, history lane, history days, history joy, history home. Letters from history. Letters from history is just like what the other one is. History friends. History story. I don't know. I wanted to appeal to the different paths that our company could go. It could be, friendship could be included there. It could just be stories. So like stories, history, and writing and friendship. Now, I don't really want to highlight the friendship one, but it's interactive. It's interactive. These are such horrible prompts to an AI agent. All right. Let's say you go ahead and create the repo. Yeah, we can call it storyboard riffs. It's saying it's blocked. Authenticated. Okay, pushing both PNGs with cleaner names. Okay, created it. It looks like it's working now. Awesome. Generate all 6 storyboard scenes. Okay, what are the hands? Okay, it's called the hands. I don't like this one. I don't We'll see. That's right. We're working on the name. Storia. Storied is definitely going to be taken. Little Chronicles. Let's go with history. History letters is taken. History dash letters is not taken. Um, fun history, happy history. Happy, that's probably not as descriptive as it could be, but what is our mission? We want to inspire an education of history for people to appreciate it, for people to learn from it. I mean, let's just see if History Pen Pals is taken. HistoryPenPals.com. I mean, that's really good for it to just be already there. HistoryPenPals.com. I think we have to get that, especially with all of the people watching this stream. One of my viewers is just gonna hop in and get it. History Pen Pals. Yeah, it's perfectly descriptive. Well, let's go with History Pals. Well, I don't want to focus on friendship. Just the pen pals is what it is. Okay. All right. Let's settle there. All right. I'll go through this. We don't want any of that extra stuff. Okay. We'll just go ahead and finish that out. Okay, we'll purchase it for 1 year. We'll say you're ready for checkout. We need to add a new card. Okay, we'll complete the purchase. Perfect. We saved $10 on our order. Okay, we'll go ahead and set up the DNS records so that our landing page actually resolves to that. All right. We don't need to set up an LLC. This is just going to be under the parent company of Neelan Solutions. Give. We don't need a phone number. Let's see. And we do not want GoDaddy to make a website. We already made a website, yo. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go back to Vercel. And we have the AI history website. And we're going to change the name. We're going to add a domain, add a custom domain. And gosh, I really did not double check the spelling of this. HistoryPenPals.com. Well, so we don't, I can already add one. Let's see. I'll show doing this. So we need to add our domains. Okay, add an existing one. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. So now it's just going to tell us to do a couple things. We're going to go in here and we're going to go to domain. And then we're going to go to DNS records. And there's going to be specific records that we need to change here. And I don't know if I'm able to share those. All right. Let's see. Submissions are real. The jobs are queued. Let me probe the correct endpoint. All right, so it worked for all 6, but it hasn't pulled the actual images. Okay, so they must be in process. We can go up to the website and just check out, see how it's working. So we'll go to usage. I mean, it looks like there's been additional spend on it. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's swap in those DNS records. Okay, we'll add a new record. I'm gonna split screen this over here. All right, looks like we already have. Could we have purchased this? Yes. Purchasing it through Vercel probably would have been easier. But all right, we have historypenpals.com. All right, let's try that again. Okay, we added that. Okay, we'll add one more. We'll add the. Okay, that'll be the A record. Go at, and then we'll add the IP address. Okay. Let's see. Remove the following conflicting domain records. Okay, just have to remove some other ones that already existed. Huh, I don't see any issues there. No. All right, we'll see how that goes. Oops. All right, now it should just take a little bit of time. I think we have everything set up. Perfect. All right. So we'll come back here, and it's still at this location, obviously, but let's see if we can go to... Ah, not this stupid one. Shoot. We never wanted this. We didn't want it. That's annoying. Hopefully the DNS records resolve soon. Okay. Okay, we're good there. Now let's go back to the image generation process. Found it. The endpoint is record info state. Okay. Download failed attempt. All 6 generated downloads failed because the temp CDN blocks default Python user agent retrying with a normal browser. UA. All 6 images downloaded. Now patching the code so future runs work with manual recovery. Okay. What landed? All right. Continuity fix worked. Now for the moment of truth. Please open the images in the File Explorer. Okay. What sort of prompting would you use to stitch all these together? Like, do we want some to be the beginning frame and the ending frame of other ones? Or do we want it to be... Yeah, tell me what you're thinking. All right, so we're giving it as much control as it wants, right? We're wanting to see what can it come up with natively. I haven't given it very much instruction. I've been disappointed with it, but we landed on historypenpals.com. I mean, it was available. I was not super surprised, but honestly, the research conversation was worth it. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Yeah. Let's see if it's updated yet. Freaking History Pen Pals. I have such a cooler website. I mean, this is, you know, ethnically diverse, but so is mine. All right. Okay. All right, so we purchased a domain. We are creating the first video. Okay, so really define the brand identity. The conversation that I had with Blake was, well, actually, let's see. So I had a conversation with my business partner, Blake, and we had, all right, so the empty transcripts is empty. Let me just go to Fireflies and I'll pull the conversation. Yeah, product mission aims to inspire history appreciation for kids and parents. All right. Well, let me just go into it. And all right. I'll just download the transcript from a Mark Dean. Okay. All right, that's what it says. One landmine in this plan. The mom walks in transition. It's the riskiest single moment since scene 1 has no mom in frame. Scene 2 has her standing at the table. I'd like for you to go through the entire process the best you ever you think about it, and I'm going to give you the API reference for Kling 3. I want there to be audio but no speech. Let's just see what it can come up with. Pretty curious about this. And then, yeah, we have the markdown file we're going to put into the other chat, but let's run Kling 3. All right, so we have audio. And then it can change, obviously, how long each section is going to be, but we'll go standard. It's not going to be multi-shot sound. Okay. So, okay. So that's not too bad. It's $1 for that. Let's go ahead and pull the API, Kling 3, go Python. Okay. Okay. Aspect ratio. We want 9:16. Let's come back here. Here is the reference key. Sorry, the reference code. Obviously, you'll need to change it to be 9:16, but I do want it in the standard quality. And yeah, just create a video, stitch them all together. This could get so out of hand if it was just running autonomously, right? If it's $1 per video generation. But I'm really excited to see what it comes up with. Okay, we have those docs. Kriya, really pleased with what Kriya is producing. Okay, identify brand identity. That's right. So we'll come back to this conversation. And we'll say downloads. Here is the transcript. Please pull out everything about what we said about brand identity and just the mission of the company, setting it up. And then I want to do some market research. I'm going to say like this. After you add the video generation skill, I'd actually like to have instructions for setting it up maybe in a different chat. This one's getting pretty full. Considering research, I'd like to think of really unique. I'd like to have a comprehensive list of all the ways I can tell people about this online. Other than creating content, give me the options of joining Facebook groups, posting on Reddit, finding community groups. Please, just everything that you've got. Do research for finding people to sign up for prepaying for their first month and getting added to the wait list. This is a chunky multi-step job. Let me set up the to-do list and walk through it carefully. Really curious to see. All right, I would like to start creating a campaign of. We can't do that. Can't do that until after we really have the brand identity defined. Right. So from his book, this guy Robert Bly, he talks about in copywriting, not listing features, which with a product like this, it's really easy to list features, but to list benefits. So what is the benefit of creating, or I mean of studying history in this way? Let me have a conversation. You understand a little bit about our product and what we're trying to do here. From a homeschooling perspective of family that is conservative and is very family oriented, what are all of the benefits of a product like this? Please have really concise bullet points, like that are just, you know, max one sentence, but ideally just a couple of words. And come at this from a few different angles. Right, so path to our first customer. And I think I do want to go ahead and create a dashboard on the website. I'd like to go ahead and create a dashboard on the website to track progress. Don't have it listed, but since we're making the journey here completely public, yeah, I have a website that's a dashboard of my hours worked and notifications signed up for, or just pre-orders. Then create a plan for changing the current landing page to pre-ordering their first month. Include the Stripe integration for the include a Stripe integration in the to-do list for accepting pre-orders. Yeah, this will be really good. Right, because the ultimate form of proof is, can we get pre-orders? If we can get pre-orders, then we know that there's some social proof here. Like there's some traction. So that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for 50% off pre-orders. If we can get 50% off pre-orders, we'll be in really good shape. God honoring narrative throughout, providential view of history, no revisionist agenda, scripture woven in naturally, heroes of faith highlighted, truth over realism, parents stay in the driver's seat, safe, screened content, no woke gender ideology. I mean, these are fine. Open and go lessons, less prep, more teaching, cuts curriculum, shopping fatigue, one subject, fully done. Affordable versus boxed seats, boxed sets, works on one income. I mean, that's good. Learning quality, story driven, not dry textbook. I do like the story driven learning. Story driven learning. Add a new markdown file, and I want it to be really lean, but it is starting to identify the brand identity. And I want the markdown file to just start with golden nuggets, and these are nuggets that are going to help define it. So the first thing is story-driven learning. That's the first bullet point that I'm really excited about, or the first nugget, golden nugget. All right. Let's see. Shared canon with other homeschool families. prepares confident citizens, defends against cultural drift. One other golden nugget I'd like to add to that list, and let's see. Yeah, let's call it protecting religious freedom. It should just be one bullet point and then have a comma separated list of all of the golden nuggets. Brand identity.md. This is different than what people normally think of when they think of brand identity. I think up until now, I just thought of colors and a logo and typography. But this is really like the soul of the company. I was talking with my business partner this morning. As I'm working on this side project, this isn't just like, hey, can AI create a company? But can AI let someone's passion and willingness to learn and their mission be turned into a product? I think so. That's what we're trying here. You know, I'm a father of 4, and we're homeschooling our kids. And I think that so many homeschool parents are freaking out about this new technology. So many parents in general and teachers are freaking out about this technology. My kid won't be able to learn, and grow because of AI. But I think they're missing. Obviously, there are real concerns there, but they're missing the point that there are so many marvelous opportunities to use this technology to enhance education. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Story-driven learning, protecting religious freedom. I like those. We're going to add some blog posts to that brand identity too, but that's great so far. Let's close that. Okay. Defends against cultural drift. So, like, defends against cultural drift and prepares. Let's see. I do like builds confidence, but see, here's the thing. As far as taste goes, Claude is really good at so many things, but could it take my belief, like protecting religious freedom? That's how the people in my sphere talk about this. Defends against cultural drift. That's just a word salad that isn't nearly as passive. Like, it's not nearly as powerful as protect religious freedoms. And even if we come up to the religious side, we see faith and worldview. Nothing about protects religious freedoms there, is there? Patriotic without being preachy. Yeah, there's something about it that just doesn't land right. And I don't know. Let's see. Builds family identity. I do want to say it like it builds confidence. Builds confidence and identity. Please add this as a golden nugget. As a silver nugget. This is the section right below the golden nuggets that I think are slightly less powerful, but that I'd still like to add to this list. Yeah, it's pretty silly to be talking about it that way. Okay, so one thing I need from you to unblock the web page. What's the current site stack? So this is custom. This is, oh, this isn't the repository for the website. Sorry, sorry, I should have sent this message to another repository. Let's go up and take my message, and we'll copy this, and we're gonna remember we're gonna open up our website repository. Let's go ahead and delete. Forget what I said. See, I don't know if it's like cleaning it up from memory when I do that, but maybe it is. All right, let me go ahead and open up a new window. We're gonna open a project. We're gonna go to the AI history website, and then here is where we're gonna post this guy. Okay, so okay. Okay, the final video. Total final video. Okay. If you want to tweak any additional. So default's baked into the scripts. Override per scene if you want. To pick up in a new chat. Let's just do what it says. Okay, let's just do what it says. Over this chat, what skills have you created? Just want to get it to check in. All right, good. All cleaned up. Website, plan, directories, they're all deleted. That's good. So this is researching distribution. That's right. That's not the brand identity one. Okay. Identity of homeschool product. That's where we want to look. We'll have this one over here. We'll have this one right here. This is the one on the far right that's actually, let's just make it full size. This is creating this right here. But I am going to go use the restroom. I should have a restroom button. But, oops. Okay, I'm back. All right, our video is still being created. Oh, I do want to check in on the credits being used. Really define the brand identity. Okay. All right, create the first video advertisement following Brandon's guides. So I'm a part of a community that helps with people learning AI stuff. And there is a guide that one of the creators in there has on creating AI generated video. And this is like, he created an okay video for a voice agent advertisement for plumbers, but it's just okay. All right, that spent a lot of money, but we were expecting this to cost $6. I guess it could be $20. How much would be appropriate? To that dashboard, I do want to add some tracking for like money spent so far. Maybe we could add some cooler financial information to it so that it's really, really well documented. So we need to come up with a logo, and I'm not sure what to do there. Let's go back. So this is the history website. Okay. 3 things shipped. All right. What should we be doing here? And if we're building so ultimately we want this to be a comprehensive website where parents can purchase this product, manage their account and everything on it. The current web structure that we have set up probably won't work for that. Do we build that in a separate repository and just use this as the landing page? Or do we expand this into that and just have what we have so far be a landing page for it? Give me the pros and cons of each approach. All right, if audio cuts feel jarring on playback, rerun step 3. Okay, for a recoder. Okay. The hands final MP4. Okay, so before we look at it, let's go look at usage. Okay, so I did one in there. So this would have cost $3, right? $3.30 so far. If that's the case, that's pretty exciting. $3.30 total credits, 800 credits, 6 credits. So clean, so clean. Okay, let's take a look at it then. Please open it in the File Explorer. Okay. I'm nervous because this could just be so bad. But I'll go ahead and turn on the desktop audio and turn off my audio. I'll react this time. All right, so this isn't bad. We need more graphics here. We need more movement. I do really like the sound of her touching the package. And I really like this look here, where he's opening a package. There's a little bit of like a bad animation here, and then the letter isn't fantastic. Okay. I'd like to rework the photo of the mailbox one. I don't want him like running to the mailbox to get the letter, like to put the letter in the mailbox. I want some sort of depiction, and maybe you generate 2 or 3 images of it for me to choose from, where in just normal speed, he's just excitedly running to the mailbox. He's running to the mailbox, and that's what he's excited about. He's excitedly opening the mailbox. I don't know what, opening scene and ending scene stuff you want to add there, but let's regenerate that. And then the final scene, I don't want him just standing there with a bunch of letters. Like, there should be a better payoff than that. Something like, okay, he opens up the mailbox and then he comes back home and he's just really excitedly reading this letter, and it kind of brings the mom into focus, who's like smiling and looking at him. So come up with a plan to generate the images, um, and kind of a short storyboard board to wrap this up with. All right. Because, right, with AI agents, if I just woke up and I had 4 or 5 videos to watch and I just gave a single natural language prompt on how to fix those and it cost $10 to fix all of them, holy smokes, that's pretty slick. Now, the question is what voiceover would come here? Now, I feel like a really big tell of AI slop is, and again, obviously, it's sucking is the tell, but the voiceovers, right? After the next wave of models comes out, everyone uses from 11 Labs or whatever, text to speech models there are, uses the exact same languages. So ones that were being used 3 years ago, like when I hear a voiceover on a short on my phone, I immediately scroll because I hate the sound of it. Um, but me hopping on here, like on the computer, and just recording really quickly a voiceover takes like 20 seconds. Especially if I can watch the video that it's happening with. Uh, that may be worth exploring, where we define a workflow that is just, hey, here's the video and here's the script for the voiceover. Why don't you come and record it? And I also think there's going to be a lot of power in creating, like, where some of it's AI generated and then some of it's just like me talking to a camera, like talking head, or even having them like split screen. That'd be worth exploring. But as I get better at content for my personal business or my AI business, aside from AI history pen pals, um, the quality of the content is just going to get better because I'm getting better at content. All right, let's see what it does. It's working, and I am just giving it kind of free reign over these models. So, okay, it looks like it's using 6 cents per generation of image. So it looks like right here, that's getting better. So it just created 2 more images, which I'm fine with. Again, I really like these images, but I will go ahead and cancel my, I have 12,000 credits remaining. We're going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to, let's see, change plan. I need to switch back to the free plan, downgrade. No, I want to go to cancel plan. Okay, this is a serious pet peeve I have. If I am not allowed to cancel anywhere, I'm just going to lose my mind. You'd think that it's right here, but maybe I come here and I go to settings. I go to billing. That's perfect. I go to billing and I go to manage subscription. And then this is just a completely different website because I think this is hosted by Stripe. Now we'll cancel the subscription. Okay. It's too expensive. I'm not using it, but Well, I did use it. Okay. 40% off for 4 months. That's tempting. Now we're going to cancel subscription. All right, cancels May 29th. So we have a little bit more usage. All right, let's see what work we're doing on the website. Okay, so my recommendation. Your one person, the single business predictor of solo founder velocity is how many systems do I have to keep in my head right now? One repo wins that fight. The separate marketing site benefits. Okay, so let's see what it says to do. So expand this repo, convert to a Next.js. Okay, demote current page to a route. Okay, separate repos, marketing site here, app. Yeah, no. Let's see. Marketing can stay dumb and fast. Static HTML. All right. You can give up the edit one HTML file simplicity. I don't care about that. Claude's handling that complexity. All right. Bigger surface area on every deploy. Pushing in marketing copy fix runs the whole app's tests and build. You want preview deploys and probably some test discipline. You don't. Okay. Please create a PRD for option B. Work with me iteratively as we define the product to make that a thing. And even if we just build the bones for the main product and just polish the marketing stuff at first, I'm fine with that. Okay. Let's see, generate 6 rework variants. All right, video one. Okay, it looks like it's actually working through the entire cycle, so we may work up some more solid credit usage here. No? Okay, it's still just working on its own. It still hasn't spent more than that $4. Now, the question is, can this get really, really good? Because right now, it's not. Like, that one that we made, what's the story? Like, if there's no audio, it's not being sold. Like, if there's no, I don't know, voiceover, how is that keeping the attention of a homeschool parent? Like, where's the call out? Where's all this, the call out and the hook? And I mean, it's cool. And maybe I'll send it to my wife and ask her what she thinks. And I'll just say, hey, does this elicit an emotional response? And I think most of the issues were not really with the generation of the video. It was more so just my impatience for generating a really good story. And tell me about how to navigate the direct posting platforms. Like, and yeah, like what? Please turn it into a Word document so that I can look at it more easily. And go ahead and print it on my default printer. Poll scene 63 until done. Okay. All right, let's see if it's. Let's see how it's doing. Are we spending more money here? No, still just 448. Interesting. I wonder if there's like a. I mean, let's just take a look at it. The jump to that video is extreme. All right, it's creating that document. Okay, it still hasn't used anything else. I wonder what it's doing. But okay, we're talking about the website now. Okay, let's start with just one item at a time. Ask me about each of these to start with. Wow, you hear the printer going. That's it printing out the gosh, I don't even remember. Oh, the outreach ideas. Yeah, tell me what COPA is. And no, it's meant to just be for parents and adults. So like adults can chat. So adults can write letters to history figures to learn about history. It's a real educational tool. But I think 8 to 12, maybe 8 to 14 is really good. Yeah, 8 to 14 for the primary target, but only parents are going to log in. I'm okay with tailoring content to us to different age groups. I don't think that'll be too hard to do. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what that's coming up with. Holy crap! How much is it printing? Whoa! Stop it. 22 pages. That's way too long. I just wanted like a one-page report. It might not stop. I think I might need to stop it. The distribution playbook, yeah. Let's cancel that. That's bad. His arm's just going straight through the mailbox. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so we really like image 52. That one is good. All right, I like those. These are the photos that should be used as the references. None of the other ones work. But yeah, go ahead and write the motion prompts, push to GitHub, and then regenerate the clips, only 5 and 6, and then yeah, restitch the final MP4. Okay, really curious to see what it comes up with. All right, so goodness gracious, let's see how big this document is. Well, what's annoying is that I guess what's annoying is that it starts with the latter part. So I only have like the last few pages, but I just want but yeah, put everything else into a spreadsheet. I still want to have a comprehensive list of everything. But yeah, send the one pager to the printer. Okay. All right, let's check on the website. I mean, is that not a solid photo? Like, I get, yeah, maybe the ink on the fingers is a little bit dramatic. But I think we're starting to get there. I really like this photo too. And this one is really good. He's excited to open. What the mistake here is that it doesn't look like he's running away from the mailbox, not towards it. And then this one is obviously a huge problem. His arm is going through the side of the freaking mailbox. So it's not going to work, man. I'm out. But let's see. Let's see how well it performs. Or yeah, on its next iteration. Okay, COPA is Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Okay, obviously we don't want to deal with that. What I heard, make sure I got this right. 2 audiences, 1 product. Adults can correspond with figures themselves. No, let's just target the 8 to 14-year-old. But like it's okay for anyone to use it. So yeah, I'm not sure how to position this for 2 people, but the priority is going to be the 8 to 14-year-old, the parents purchasing it. So only parents and adults log in. The child never has an account, and then it is a real educational tool. Yeah, it is conversational. So letters are going back, and then the parent, after their kid writes something, takes pictures of the writing and scans a QR code to send it back. So that's going to need to be built into that website. Did it finish? Let's see how much it cost. Expecting, okay. So it just spent one extra dollar. So did it create 2 5-second shorts? I think so. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Kind of exciting, kind of nerve-wracking. Hands-on final MP4. What did they call the last one? I really like his eyes looking up there. This is a very like a passive attempt. That one's really good. So I want to say this looks really good. I'd like to do two things. Please regenerate him opening the letter, and just because I want to look at another option of it. You can even use the same prompt and try again on the mailbox opening. It doesn't really look natural. Just give me another iteration of it, and then you can restitch it. Okay. So the one pager is being printed. Now he's creating, or it's creating, a comprehensive Excel workbook, because we'll dive into those later this week. The brand identity notebook. All right, so we have the silver nuggets, and then we have the golden nuggets. So very good. Yeah, I think tomorrow we really need to focus on the brand identity. And I think that that's something that's going to be underrated. Like when I look at Upwork for like what AI products do people want? It seems like people just want AI slop engines, and I'm not interested in doing that. I get that when anyone is starting their content journey, slop is inevitable, whether you're using AI or not. So that shouldn't be a barrier for somebody getting started. But thinking, hey, I'm going to have really good content. But I mean, you could just end up spending hundreds or thousands of dollars in credits just to end up with AI slop. That's a huge mistake. It'd be better to just spend some extra money. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Only got 13 more minutes in this. I don't know. If we started documenting like, hey, what did we accomplish today? Quite a bit actually, right? We need a favicon. Okay. Let's see. I need a favicon for the website. What ideas do you have? The product is called historypenpals.com. And actually, let's go to the website now. If the DNS records haven't switched over. Okay, historypenpals.com, advanced. Let's see, can we... historypenpals.com. Well, this is progress. I'm going to go to the DNS records and make sure that it's all squared away. Let's go to Vercel. All right. I'll go to domains. I think we're still experiencing an error. Okay. So we need to go back to godaddy.com. Is it saying that it's done? No way. Well, it did. I like the transition there. So this should be 648. All right. I'm going to tell it to... The letter one is slightly better. I'm going to try just... Don't switch to the Pro. I think that just increases the resolution. What I really want is just a few more iterations of him opening the mailbox. Like, give me 2 more and switch up the prompt if you want. It just doesn't look natural right now. The mechanics of him grabbing the mailbox looks really fake and AI generated. Okay. All right, the product is called the Extra Pen Pals. All right, I'm fixing the DNS records. These are the joys of being a business owner. Is you learn how to do a little bit of everything, and it sucks. Apparently, GoDaddy just felt like reworking their entire website because I can't even see GoDaddy.com. Hey, Patrick, like, what is this garbage? How do I even get to... Yeah. Like, how do I get to my profile? We already have a website. We already have an account. Okay, pick up where you left off. AI history, pen pals. Domain, that's where we're looking. I'll be happy to switch over the domain records. Let's see. Forwarding. No. Yeah, I might just purchase these on Vercel. This is pretty annoying. Custom name servers. Uh, yeah, I mean, hopefully it works. Let's see. Connect domain. Uh, Now it's saying that I have conflicting. It's just not true. Afterwards. Okay, as part of the planned IP range expansion, you may notice new records above. The old records of CNAMEs will continue to work, but we recommend you use the new ones. I haven't had this problem with my other one. Let's go, yeah, manage DNS. Template applied Wix. Let's remove that. All right, let's add a new record. Okay. Have been updated successfully. All right, let's see if it worked this time. All right, hopefully it works in the next few minutes. All right, we have the brand identity started. It's not great, but that's gonna need to be defined a little bit more carefully. It doesn't have an actual place yet. That one's much better. Huh. Really struggling with the DNS records. It's going to be a big waiting period for transferring them to Vercel, but it'll get worked out. But yeah, history pen pals, www. Yeah, I think it's all there. Heyo. I think we're right on now. Ah, close. No, I have that one in there. Well, let's check that out. historypenpals.com. Fantastic. Okay, and now we're also reworking the website. All right, we have just a couple more minutes. We only have 3 more minutes on this live stream before I have to start working on other stuff. Even though this is pretty fun. Okay, we have the website. I think a season is going to be 6 months long, and it'll be 2 letters per month. Is that too spaced out? What are your thoughts there? I mean, I can have, yeah. Oh, it's finally printing that one pager. No, I'm taking care of the letter being physically written. So I just need to have their response uploaded and sent to the website. We can handle the automation of the writing afterwards. It's not going to be a keepsake, but I mean, we do want to have a really like a nice pen in it, like a fountain pen, one that doesn't have to be dipped in ink, but still has that same writing tip. And then, yeah, like there should be a $15 a month. I want it to be $30, but you can pre-order your first month at 50% off. And then I also want to include things like stickers and recipe cards and fun fact sheets, stuff like that. There's stuff that will supplement to add to the value that's coming. The screw just came out of my chair. Yeah, I think before we do these personalized outreaches to a bunch of different companies or communities, we're really going to need to identify the value proposition and the identity of the brand. No, because 2 letters for $15, that's going to be pretty hard to do. This is a loss leading promotion, but they could do the first 3 months. They could, if they pre-order their first 3 months, they get 50% off. If they pre-order their first month, they get 1 month off. They get it 25% off. Some pricing structure like that. on the founding member angle. Okay. All right. So let's see how much we ended up spending. I bet this is at like 8 or 9. Oh, just 748. And then let's take a look at the video. I want it to be like general history. We might need to wait for a logo, but what ideas do you have for a logo? Let's see, a wax seal. Yeah, a wax seal works. Can you give me an AI? Yeah, I guess use ChatGPT 2, Image 2, to generate a favicon. Can you open the Excel sheet in the File Explorer? Please open it in the File Explorer. Then I'll take a look. That's right. 51 was the best one. Yeah, 51 is the best one. Use that one. Wow, it stitches them together really fast. Okay. I don't know if that's like just by itself, it's not interesting enough to get views, I don't think. Like now looking at the whole video, how do you think that we transition from that to views? Like do we add like that's an advertisement that somebody has to watch. It's not like there's no narrative. I mean the narrative is pretty strong actually. I like what's there. But I guess we need to add a closing scene, like, you know, historypenpals.com or something like that. Then I can post it. But we need to, I don't think that that's, it could be AI slop. I'll send it to my wife, like I said. I'll share it with her and we'll figure that out. All right, that's it for today. I'll get back to it tomorrow.